Hey there, everyone. We are coming into our final race of the 2026 NBAA XC Series in Flagstaff. This race is presented by Absolute Bikes. Big thanks for their year-over-year support. They've been a longtime supporter of the NBAA Series. We also want to thank Pivot Cycles and Team Charity Case, our proud financial supporters of the entire series. They're play a big role in helping fund the series and allow us to give as much money back to the trails and give out in grants as possible. So hope to see everyone up in Flagstaff on Saturday. We have a couple of notes about the race course and the venue. We stage out of Fort Valley, and I know a lot of you have been up there and raced out there before. There is a small amount of camping kind of in the front when you turn off the main highway onto Fort Valley or into the Fort Valley trailhead area, just kind of along that paved road and on either side of the road. So there's a little bit of camping in there. And then the venue is pretty small. So take a look at our venue map and parking map just so you know where to set up if you're going to go up a little bit early. We'll be marking the course on Friday morning and probably a little bit on Thursday night. It's pretty easy to follow. You can grab the Strava routes and GPS files from the race page on the website, and the signage out in the Coconino National Forest is very good. So if you go out earlier this week, it's pretty easy to follow. There was a little bit of rain over the weekend and chance of a sprinkle or two here this week. So by Saturday, trails are going to be absolutely phenomenal. And weather looks good in the 60s during the day. It's not too hot. We've really lucked out with pretty solid weather for the whole series and pretty good trail conditions with a little bit of moisture kind of leading up to the race. So as I mentioned, this is the series finale. And so we are going to be giving out series overall awards during the day. So if you race your category for the day, we'll do those podiums and then we'll follow up that day of podium with the series overall podium. And for the series, since we were short one race this year, since we weren't able to do white tanks, it's the best 4 out of 5 races. And make sure to check on the results page, check your series individual results. And if you're part of a team, make sure you check your team results. Sometimes there's a spelling name misspelling. Sometimes you might sign up one race as Tim and then the next race as Timothy. And so when we're merging all of the races together, we try our best to catch them all, but evidently there's always going to be one or two that we miss. So make sure you're keeping track of your series points. If you see any issues, just send us an email. We'll get it corrected. Not a big deal. For the series then, so it's your best 4 of 5 races. And that means if you do all 5, you can drop one. And those 4 races need to be in the same category. So if you raced the whole season in intermediate women 30 to 39, and you want to take a crack at racing expert for Flagstaff, well, you have your 4 races already, so you're eligible for the series in that intermediate 30 to 39 for this example. And you could jump up to expert if you want to try racing the next category up. If you bounced around this season, let's say you did 3 races in marathon and then 2 races in single speed, by the end of the series, you wouldn't have a total of 4 races in one individual category, so you wouldn't be eligible for a series overall in that category specifically. And then the only other requirement, we always ask that the podium finishers have 5 volunteer hours, and we've had lots of folks volunteering over the course of the season, which is always great. You can volunteer at an NBAA race. You can volunteer in Flagstaff if you need a few more hours. Just on the sign up on the race page under the sign up volunteer tab. You can grab a couple hours there, helping set up, tear down, whatnot. And then you can always volunteer on your local trails as well. And if you do that, or anytime you volunteer, just go to mbaa.net and right at the top, submit your volunteer hours. And let's say you volunteered out at White Tanks for 2 hours doing some trail work. Just put your name, your team, if you're associated with a team, and then what you did and the hours, and that's how they'll get logged. So we appreciate everyone's support, helping us out. It takes a lot of people to make the races go off without a hitch, and while we do have really, really good staff, it's also incredibly beneficial to have your help as volunteers throughout the day and filling, the various volunteer slots. Let's see, what else do we have? So on the race course itself, you're going to see our typical arrows. We've got the green loop, the blue loop, and the black loop. For riders that are racing the black loop, once you get out of kind of the immediate Fort Valley area, you'll mostly see the pink pin flags out on course. We try to put those on the inside of the turn, and those will be marking, your junctions and your turns. When you get up to Sunset Trailhead, there's a road crossing. We'll have a volunteer there helping with road crossing. Absolute is going to be up there as well with a small aid station. They'll have water and a few things up there. So if you do get all the way out to Sunset Trailhead, there's some support up there. Then you'll keep climbing for those that are riding the Black Loop. You'll keep climbing up a little bit higher, and then you descend down Big Bang and then head back over to the venue. So it is an open course. We will have signs out all over letting day of users and hikers know that there is a race going on. We do have the signs and the maps and things to show people where the race course is and other suggested trails. But always, keep your head up out there. Things are pretty well groomed and the trails are fairly wide open. And so as far as passing and just navigating the trails, the Coconino National Forest has done a really good job with thinning over the years, and the new trail construction has been very, very well done. And so the trails that we get to ride, some of these trails like Big Bang, are fairly new and have been in part funded by the dollars from the MBAA as well as other organizations. We'll also have Flagstaff Bike Organization will be in the venue selling raffle tickets for the Reserves Trails project that's going on. And you can buy raffle tickets. There's a whole bunch of good raffle prizes, pivot bike, SRAM group sets, all kind of stuff, fun stuff that you can win. So they'll be out there, and you can take a look at the maps and the trail project plan if you're interested in kind of seeing how some of the dollars from, well, all of the dollars from the MBAA, but in addition to other organizations that help support the trails, this is where the race entries go, and your MBAA memberships and t-shirts and hats and all that kind of stuff, it gets funneled back into the trails that you love to ride. So they'll be out there. We want to support them. And we want to thank everyone for coming out for another great series. Hopefully next year we'll have white tanks back, and we're always looking for new venues that are large enough that can hold the size of our group for the MBAA, that are also near trails. So if you have any ideas for race venues, please let us know, and we're happy to go scout them out and take a look and see if we can make it work. So hope to see everyone this weekend in Flagstaff, and have a great race.